Well, everybody, beautiful sunshiny afternoon we got today, and we're going to go ahead and take the BushCat out around the block and see what our local farmers are doing, if we can find anything today. If not, we'll just enjoy the wind therapy. Right along. Well, here we go. End of the runway, taking off into the afternoon sun. I just love this. I always thought it was magical how you just push the throttle on and next thing you know you're flying. So anyway, down the end of the runway and a quick little chandelle to the left there. Right over to the fields right off the end of the runway here. I'm embarrassed. I don't know the name of the folks doing this baling, but I know Eric Hoig's got one of them machines just like this one here. This catches the round or the square bales, puts them in a bundle, and then the guy goes along. You see the green tractor sitting there. He goes along and picks those bundles up and stacks them on the wagon. And it saves a lot of labor. Waggling the wings at them right there. They were waving. And we got some folks down here that are baling off the same piece, and they are making those big round bales. And they got a tractor there. They've been loading them, and then a wagon comes along and they get them. So I circled around. I landed right here in this field last year. And I said, I better drag the field because he had a little water laying in the ditch. And I mean, I just could see the tracks, and they looked like it was cutting it up a little bit. And then the grass was a little long. And then right here on the right side, I saw those ruts in there. And I said, always err on the side of caution. I said, I could have probably handled it with the Airstreak tires, but probably handle it is not good enough for me. I got to know that I can handle it, or I'm not going in there. So I circled up around a little bit high, and I could have landed in that field where the round bales were easy, but they had all the bales in there, and the guys were working. And I said, let's just err on the side of caution. Kudos to them guys. They're doing some good work there. Went over to Farmer Bob's, and I didn't see anybody at the shop or the second farm there, but I made a kind of a turn to the left here, and they were unloading these trucks with a forklift there. So I said, well, let's head over to Van Lee Schultz and see if I can catch some guys. And you can see where they've been top dressing that liquid fertilizer on this field right here. They got the outside all done, the main farm off to the left there, of course. But Joe said the other day that he was working by Collins Road, and this is Collins Road we're coming up on right here. Said he was over there fitting that up, ready to plant it to winter wheat or something like that. It's one of them grain crops to cover it for the winter. So I said, well, we'll drop down in and drag the field. And you can see, I mean, this is a big field right here. And he's got this all planted. I mean, this is super smooth. Could have landed here any place, but I wanted to get you a look at the machine if he was working. So I see the truck sitting there with a tender. I said, got to be here. There he is right there on the far end of the field right here. And he's got the grain drill and drilling in the oats or winter wheat or whatever it is. So I circled around and I said, I could land right here, but why don't I just look at this dust and see what the wind is doing? So I came around behind the machine, and the dust was kind of blowing off to the right just a little bit. So I said, well, we'll circle around and come back the way we dragged the field. And we'll do an approach and land, see if we can get a look at the tractor on the ground there, so you get an idea of how big these machines are. And so we went down to the far end of the field, and what I did was about a half of a lazy 8 here. I pulled the airplane up, and then at the top I pulled the flaps on, and then I just a descending left-hand turn. You can see the shadow follow us right down to the ground. And I had a little bit of speed on, so you can see me give it a little bit of slip here to the side. And I got the airplane slowed right down, and I put the power back on, full flaps, and about 35, 36, 3,700 RPMs at 50 miles an hour, I flew the airplane right up to where I wanted to land, and I pulled the throttle off. And just like that, the wheels will just touch right down. I mean, you can set your watch by it. And of course, this is plowed ground, but the Airstreak tires handle it fantastic. And it was even better up here where they got the grain drilled in. Right here, you can see it's quite a bit smoother. But we taxied up by the house, and Joe Van Leeshout was here with the big tractor, and he waited for me to get stopped. I didn't want to hold him up. Obviously, he's a working man. So I said, we'll get a look at the tractor and the grain drill. And you can see that tractor has got dual wheels on the front and dual wheels on the back, and that spreads the weight of the tractor out so it doesn't compact the soil. And then, of course, you got the big multi-row grain drill behind it there, drilling the seed right in. And of course, they turn it over and it smooths it up a little bit. But this is certainly not too rough for the BushCat to handle. So took off, and BushCat, low speed maneuverability, fantastic, but airspeed's your friend. So I like to get 80 miles an hour or better before I do any maneuvering close to the ground, of course, especially. So they had the tender there, and I flew back over, and Joe was visiting with somebody down there. I jumped out of the tractor. They were waving, so I wiggled the wings at them a little bit and give them a wave. But we just went down to the end of Collins Road here, and got a good look at the farm, and did a turn and headed back home. So I hope you enjoyed the ride looking at America's farmers today.